Okay, today we're going to unpack a really simple technique that might just change how you talk to AI, like forever. It's called prompt chaining. And honestly, it's the secret to getting way smarter, more accurate results from basically any language model out there. So if you're ready to level up your prompt game, let's dive right in. So, have you ever done this? You ask an AI to do like way too much at once, and what you get back is, well, it's just gibberish, right? You know the drill. You think your request is perfectly clear, but the AI gives you this jumbled mess that maybe answers one little part, completely ignores another, and just misunderstands the rest. It's super frustrating, but here's the good news. The problem probably isn't the AI, it's how we're prompting it. And that gets us right to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? It's all about how we structure our requests. We kind of talk to AI like it can read our minds, when really, we should be treating it more like a super literal assistant. One that needs to follow instructions one single step at a time. Okay, let's look at a tale of two prompts here. On one hand, you have something simple like, what's the weather like today? Easy. One goal. The AI knows exactly what to do. But then you get a complex one. Find a vegan restaurant open till 10 p.m. and recommend one. Whoa. Think about it. You're asking it to find restaurants, then filter for vegan, then check closing times, and then make a recommendation. For an AI, stacking all those instructions together is just a recipe for total confusion. So, okay, if bundling all those tasks together is the problem, then it makes sense that unbundling them is the solution, right? And turns out there's a really elegant technique designed for exactly this. Yep, you guessed it, it's called prompt chaining. And prompt chaining is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. Instead of one giant, complicated request, you create a chain of simple, separate prompts. And here's the clever part. The output from one prompt becomes the input for the very next one. So you're not just barking an order, you're actually guiding the AI step by step. You're building up context and clarity with every single link in that chain. I mean, think of it this way, right? You would never tell a friend to drive to the city, find a bookstore with a rare first edition, buy it, and get it gift wrapped all in one single breath. No way. You'd give them instructions one step at a time. Well, prompt chaining does the exact same thing for an AI. It takes that one confusing command and breaks it down into a series of clear, totally actionable instructions. All right, so let's see what this actually looks like in practice. We're going to take a super complex prompt and break it all the way down into a simple, way more effective chain. Okay, so here's our big challenge. Just look at how much is packed into this one request. You've got translate it, then find all the stats, then list them as bullet points, then translate them back again into Spanish. Whew! Asking an AI to do all of that at once is, let's be honest, a recipe for disaster. It's almost guaranteed to miss a step or just get the order of operations all mixed up. And here is the simple chain solution. Look at that. That tangled knot of instructions, it becomes this beautiful, simple 5-step chain. Each prompt is crystal clear, and it just builds on the one before it. The AI reads the text, then it translates, then it fetches the facts, then it lists them, then it translates them back, step by step. By breaking it down like this, your chances of getting it right go way, way up. This is what we want, absolute clarity. Okay, so we've seen how it works, but now let's dig into why it's so incredibly powerful. Because this isn't just about getting an answer, it's about getting a much better, way more reliable answer every single time. So there are 3 huge advantages. First up, consistency. Think about customer support. You can use chains to make sure the AI always keeps that same friendly, helpful tone. Second, you get way more control. You can guide the output with insane precision, like ask for a summary first, and then in the next step, tell the AI to reformat that summary into a very specific template. And third, and this is a big one, you get a much, much lower error rate. And that reduction in errors, it's not a small thing. I mean, look at this. By breaking down the tasks, you're giving the AI super focused input and really clear context for each individual step. That simple change just slashes the number of misunderstandings, and you end up with responses that are way more accurate. You're not just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best anymore. You're actually engineering a successful result.
And this isn't just some abstract theoretical idea. Prompt chaining is already out there in the wild, being used to solve real-world problems in a ton of different industries.
Generally, the applications fall into two main buckets. First, you've got question answering, which is basically when an AI needs to pull information from some kind of knowledge base. And second, you have these more complex, multi-step tasks, where the AI has to perform a whole sequence of actions to get the job done. So for question answering, you can think of things like customer service bots that cleverly guide users to the right answer, or maybe educational platforms that can create personalized quizzes on the fly, based on how a student is doing. It's also a total game changer for researchers who can chain prompts together to automate the slog of searching and analyzing massive amounts of literature. And then for those multi-step tasks, wow, the possibilities are even broader. You could streamline your entire content creation process. I'm talking outlining, then writing, then editing, all in a chain. Developers are using it to guide an AI from just a concept, a piece of logic, all the way to actual working code. And of course, e-commerce sites can use it to build these incredibly personalized recommendations based on what you've been looking at. So really, when you get down to it, prompt chaining is so much more than just a clever little trick. It's a fundamental shift in how we can work with AI. The moment we realize that these huge, complex problems are actually just a series of smaller, linked problems, well, that's when we unlock a whole new level of potential and, just as importantly, reliability from these amazing tools. And that kind of leaves us with one last thought, doesn't it? We've just seen how breaking down a request makes an AI smarter and more effective. So what if we applied that same exact logic to our own lives? What's that big, overwhelming challenge you're facing that might suddenly become manageable, maybe even simple, if you just broke it down into a chain? Something to think about. That's it for this explainer. Thanks for tuning in.